getting all ready for Starfield to come out. Had the pre-install downloaded, a little bit over 100 gigabytes. Just about pushed us over the data cap for the month. Then, a couple weeks later, install the rest of it, wait for the early access to run its course, and then fire it up and realize Game Pass subscription has lapsed. So I should have known, because I tried to play Vampire Survivors before, a couple days before, and I couldn't. I was like, oh, well, there must supposed to be some kind of an issue or something, and there was a lot going on. So I was like, I'll worry about it later. Try to boot back into Starfield, and then like, oh, no. Try a bunch of other games, like, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't even play games online that I own. Oh, well. But I was all ready to play, and now I can't, and I don't think I'm going to renew Game Pass right now. Not because I don't think it's a good deal, but I just don't play on my Xbox enough. That's the same thing with the Switch. Our Switch Online service, our subscription has expired as well, so... But no one's playing on the Switch, and there's no reason to go ahead and renew it. Maybe in a month, 2, 3, next year sometime or something, but there's no reason to renew it right now. We've got plenty of other things to do, and plenty of other games to play. Not just video games. We picked up several board games that we haven't even tried out. Some from conventions, like Southern Fried Gaming Expo. We picked up a couple there. Which I've got to get that video out. But right now it's just not worth it to renew those subscriptions. And it's really making me wonder about even trying to go for a year-long subscription. I gotta look and see what the numbers are and add them up, because if we don't do a year-long subscription, I definitely want to make sure that we're not spending more money in a year than if we had a subscription. But there's such long breaks where things are going on, and the Switch and Xbox may not even get turned on. Especially the Switch. The Xbox, I can pick up, Earth Defense Force 2025 or 2017 or Insect Armageddon. Jump on and play and shoot a bunch of big bugs, and robots, arachnids. But the Switch will sit there, and we've got everything plugged into power switches where you can individually turn outlets on and off on it. And so everything stays off. So the Switch, there's times when you turn it on and it has zero charge, as do the Joy-Cons. And so you've got to plug it in and let it run for 20 minutes, or not let it run, but let it charge for 20 minutes before you can even turn it on. And, it's just it's kind of odd. We've got these new gaming devices, and we don't hardly use them. I know myself, I usually play a bunch of retro stuff. And a lot of times, that's just what I want to play. When I sit down, there's not a big draw for any of the newer games. Everyone's getting to be an old fuddy-duddy, and these newfangled games are just too fancy, or whatever. But it can definitely be a put-off when you plug in. You turn on the console, it's like, all right, you got an 800 megabyte download. Is it 800 megabyte or gigabyte? I think it's an 8 gig download is what it seems to be most of the time for the Xbox. On occasion, the Switch has one. The game you might be playing has one. And quite often, if you've only got 30 minutes, an hour to play something, and you got to wait for an update, it kind of kills it. But what are you going to do? Oh, wait. I'll go and let it update and then actually go play an old console where I can just put in the disc or I can put in the cartridge and actually play my games. Granted, I can't do any of that online, but then if I want to, I've got games on Steam. I think I have over 300 games on Steam I can go play. Not all of them are online, but there's nothing wrong with playing new games. There's nothing wrong with playing old games. But there's times when I think we all go through a phase with a style of game or whatever we'd like to play. And lately, games that have long, expansive stories like RPGs, there's no time on the table for them. I struggle through them because in a 2-hour play session once a week or once every other week, it really feels like you're not making any progress. And it can actually hurt the way I feel about a game. Whether it's an RPG or even just a long action adventure game like some of the Zelda games. I played through Oracle of Ages on the Game Boy and then Twilight Princess on the Wii last year. And I enjoyed it probably for about close to the first half of the game, and then I was ready for it to be done. And a lot of that was because I just usually don't have those long play sessions, and they lose their interest for me. Maybe it's I figure this I can beat this game in 2 or 3 weeks, and when it takes 2 or 3 months, it gets a bit frustrating. Same thing happened when I was playing through Phantasy Star 2. I was only playing that once a week, and it was 2 or 3 hours. And the random battles in that one just, oh my gosh. It's like, all right, we're going to go from town. We got to go to some place on the other side of the map. Oh, wait, we just got in the battle every 2 steps. Definitely don't have enough health and mana now to do that, so now you got to go back and try it all over again. And that can be rough until you actually find new equipment in the Phantasy Star series, because that's where you really get your ups for your attack and defense. Oh, is this guy gonna go? Nope, he did not. I get to go. But have you guys ever let your Game Pass or any of the online subscriptions, Game Pass, Nintendo Online, dude, you could have gone, or PlayStation, have you ever let it lapse for more than a few days? You're just like, there's nothing on there I want to play right now, or this month's free games just aren't anything I care to spend the money for the subscription to get. Or is it, nope, it's on an auto renewal, so it always renews. I don't even have to think about it, it's just always there. I like to be able to control it to an extent, so we usually go out to Walmart or Target or someplace and buy the subscription and then go and input it into the console. I do the same similar thing with Steam. I don't keep a card on file. One thing, because it's a money-saving measure. But you go to the store, you pick up a $5, $10, $20, $50 gift card for Steam. If there's stuff that's coming up that you want to get. And then you don't have to really worry too much about going over that. Yeah, you can always go back out and get it, but especially if you have to do it the next day or something, it gives you a little bit more time to think it through, and you're not going to make nearly as many impulse buys. Because those are the ones that get you. Oh, look, it's a shiny thing and it's on sale. But yeah, so what do you guys do with that stuff? Do you let your subscriptions expire? Is that heresy? Do you even subscribe to any of those services? Because I think they're great services. I think the value is really really there, especially if you're not going out and buying new games, particularly with Game Pass. Game Pass, there's so much to choose from. I mean, I played Vampire Survivors, Dead Cells. There was an old wooden train style game on Game Pass. I'm keeping an eye on that one because I want to pick that one up, and I think it has like a space DLC or something. I'd love for a physical edition of it. And several other games that I wouldn't have even tried, I played. But I just don't buy a bunch for the consoles anymore because you have those services and you don't need to. The Switch is a little bit different because it's cartridge based, and you actually, outside of the updates, you can actually play the game off the cartridge. Yeah, so what do you guys do with your subs? Or do you do subs? Or you're just like, it's not my style. But take care, everyone. Have fun. Be kind to one another. Stay safe. Keep retro. God bless. We'll catch you all later. And how do you like your subs? And we're not talking about sandwiches.